came from Miami, FLA. Hitchhiked away across USA. Plucked her eyebrows on the way. Shaved her legs and then he was a she. She says, hey babe, take a walk on the wild side.
Yeah.
Said, hey honey, take a walk on the wild side.
Anna Duvlantis is in the studio with us on the Rokon Show, newly constituted Rokon Show, and here 720 WGN. If you're looking for Bill and Wendy, this is the situation. They're at 9 to noon. 9 to noon.
I love listening to Bill and Wendy.
I do too.
They're part of my day.
I do too. And we're on from 3 to 7. And that's just how that goes. And now we played that song. Why? I'll tell you why. Because Bruce Jenner got involved in a fatal car accident yesterday. Alex Stone, Stone Pony, ABC News, is standing by. And I guess all I can say, Stoney, is we've got a potential criminal investigation here, right?
Well, they're trying to figure out what exactly happened, and what's creepy about this whole thing is there are photographs of the actual crash happening because so many members of the paparazzi were following Bruce Jenner, and almost like the movie Nightcrawler, or there's the movie Paparazzi where they watch your every move and they will videotape or take pictures of car crashes before police get there. Well, that's kind of what happened here. They actually took photos and almost like quick shutter speed, like a sporting event, of the crash happening. So investigators have that evidence to help them out through this, but they are still asking. About an hour ago, the LA County Sheriff's Department put out a notice to the public asking for witnesses to come forward and say what they saw. Was somebody distracted? Were they talking on a cell phone? Were they texting? Was something else going on in the cars that created this? They want to make sure that they can figure out what was going on. It may have just been that everybody was tailgating the other car. There were 4 cars involved in this. Started now, the Sheriff's Department believes, with a Prius on Pacific Coast Highway that for whatever reason stopped or slowed down. The Lexus behind it ran into that. Then the Escalade that Jenner was driving ran into that, pushing the Lexus into the oncoming lanes. And then a Hummer that was coming head-on to the Lexus hit that Lexus, killing the driver. It may have just been that everybody was following too closely, it was raining out, and that it was one big mistake.
And Bruce Jenner has just released this statement. By the way, Bruce Jenner is 65.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He looks good.
Well, she sure does. He released a statement. The person killed in this is a 70-year-old. And he says, my heartfelt and deepest sympathies go out to the family and loved ones and to all those who were involved or injured in this terrible accident. It is a devastating tragedy, and I cannot pretend to imagine what this family is going through at this time. So that's what he's...
You've got to feel for him. I mean, you do. I don't know how culpable he is in this whole thing, as you just described, Alex. But there were some things that there were some reports early that say he may have been texting, and they'll surely pull his records for his phone. And then TMZ has a second-by-second pictorial of what was happening, and they said he might have been smoking, but didn't seem like he was texting.
Yeah, and, again, with that second-by-second pictorial, what's so creepy is, now some outlets have fuzzed out the face of the driver of the Lexus, but you're essentially watching a woman die. And that's where now a lot of people here in California are saying, wait a second, this is kind of creepy, we don't want to see this. But in it, he's got a cigarette hanging out the window. First of all, I think a lot of people looked at it and said, a former Olympian smokes? But
that's what I took that away from that as well.
He had a cell phone in his hand. Yeah, it doesn't look like he was texting, anything like that, but he was apparently smoking. But there were some pictures, according to the sheriff's deputies who are investigating this, that maybe he was texting or talking on the cell phone before those photos were taken. So had he been distracted in some way, that's what they want to know. Again, the conditions were bad. It was raining. Folks don't know how to drive real well here in California when it rains, and you do get a lot of accidents. That may have played a role in this. It's a serious accident, but immediately everybody went toward him and said, well, this has got to be criminal. He did something wrong. Sheriff's deputies say he may have done nothing wrong. It may have just been an accident.
Well, since he's the third car to hit, I mean, his culpability goes way down here. Because there were initial reports that he was the one that started the chain of events, but it's not the case, right?
Right. Initially, the sheriff's department thought he hit and started the whole thing, hit the white Lexus, and then the white Lexus hit the Prius at the front and then veered off and hit and went head on into the Hummer. But now the belief is that it was all that front car and everybody chain reacting after that. He submitted to a field sobriety test, a test we've all seen people doing on the side of the road of fingertip to nose. He passed that. Then he submitted voluntarily to a blood test, the more accurate test for blood or drugs. And there are some reports that he told deputies, they won't confirm it, that the only drug that he had taken was a hormone drug for his transition that he's going through. And that they said, well, that won't play any role in this whole thing. So that he's been cleared on that side of things. So drugs and alcohol, they say he didn't seem like he was on anything. They cleared him from that almost immediately right on scene. And now they are asking for, as you alluded to a moment ago, everybody's cell phone, which they say is a typical thing in a major accident investigation when somebody dies, so that they can go and review them. There, again, no one's confirming this, but there are some reports that he has handed over his cell phone or agreed to do it so that they can look and say, okay, was anybody sending or receiving a text message? Was anybody on the phone at the time? Could that have played a role?
Estrogen and Lipitor is what I'm going to guess was in his bloodstream, which is, of course, also the name of his one-man play. Thank you very much. I wonder whether this, obviously the paparazzi are part of this as well. He initially, it was being reported that he said that the paparazzi were chasing him, so that's why he was distracted by all of this. Does any of that play into this?
Well, it came up that the paparazzi were there, and then he told the deputies that they didn't actually end up playing any role in it. He knew they were there, he knew they were taking his picture, but that they did not get involved. Now, if he wanted to stick it to the paparazzi, it seems like it would have been very easy to say, yeah, it was all their fault. I was trying to get away from them and blame them. But according to sheriff's deputies, that it was something that he said it wasn't a factor in the crash. He knew they were there, but they didn't actually play a role in it.
Okay. All right. And he's going to do the sit down with Diane Sawyer, right? Isn't that how he's going to start? That's the way that they're going to start a reality show, is he's going to do a sit down with her first for ABC and then wherever that thing is going to live.
Right. There are many reports out there about it. ABC hasn't confirmed it yet, or the timing of when it will air, or the timing on if the interview has already happened. But there are a lot of reports out there that something's coming down the line.
All right. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
You got it. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right. There he goes, Alex Stone Pony.
I just don't know if no one would be talking about this, right? Unless he was going through the transgender surgery. I mean, this would be a non-event.
Well, I mean, if he were still Kim Kardashian's husband and part of the Kardashian
Chris,
thing, yeah, there would be. Did I say Kim Kardashian? Chris Kardashian. Actually, if it were Kim Kardashian's husband, that would even be worse, I think. But Chris Kardashian's husband, it's still part of the deal for him, and that's the notoriety. But see, I'm very cynical about this whole deal because he's going through this transition. He's doing whatever he's going to be doing here, but he now is going to do this in front of reality cameras.
Some say that'll be great for that entire community, that he's actually being outspoken about it, and that others who are dealing with it it'll be easier for them, having seen someone so high profile do it.
Do you think that reality show producers are going to make this a respectful and educational trip down the road of somebody trying to get gender reassigned?
No, I don't.
Or will it be the freak show that they want to make everything?
I think it will start a lot of conversations and debate about this issue.
Sorry, that's incorrect.
You can't say that's the wrong answer.
I'm sorry, that's the wrong answer. Freak show is what we were looking for. Freak show is what we were looking for. Got
it wrong.
Don't you think seriously that and think of the money that they're going to make on this show?
Oh my gosh, there's so much talk about it. It's crazy.